Koiki Media, we're bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Koiki Media, Koiki Media, Koiki Media, we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Koiki Media, Koiki Media, Koiki Media, we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Àwọn sálára àgbà yìí dá, àwa ló láṣà àti èdè. Gbígbédè lárugẹ nílẹ̀ Oòduà o, àwa gangan ni bàbá.
Koiki Media, Koiki Media, Koiki Media, we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
They never sabi wetin we carry for her.
But they move closer before they go sabi.
I said they never know wetin we carry for body.
But they move closer before they go sabi.
Ọ̀kín lọ lọ́jà ẹyẹ, kìnìún ló ló lajú.
Ẹyẹ tó dorí kodò bí àdán ọgbẹ́jẹ lẹ́nu.
Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa, ká jùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè gbó Odùduwà.
Odùduwà kò bá lè gbé wa.
Ọmọ Odùduwà ṣe gírí, ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀, ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé délẹ̀ ìlérí, ká wálé gba ògo ilẹ̀ wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé, ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀, àwa ni mọ̀lẹ̀ tí yóò tàn káàkiri.
Pé ọmọ Odùduwà ni wá.
Koiki Media, àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wàá mọ̀ ní.
Kásá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wá kájé bùgbà yín jẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wàá mọ̀ ní.
À ń gbé tó lárugẹ, à ń gbàsà lárugẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wàá mọ̀ ní.
News and sports ẹ máa rí gbọ́.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wàá mọ̀ ní.
Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi ló ní kí n máa ké tantan. Koiki Media ọ̀rọ̀ lágbájúmọ̀ mi o, máa bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ o. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá tata o. À ń gbádùn rẹ, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi, ṣẹ́yìn ló máa fi dìbò tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé mádémádé, ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ o. Igbó máa wọ̀ gájòjì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀, àjòjì tó bá wọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ á bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ẹbọra. Ẹ̀yin lọ máa náwó kóyìnbó tó dé, ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́ tún pọ̀ sí o. Koiki Media ṣàwa ní bàbá. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá.
Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá.
Àdáńtọ́ àtúnpèrègèdè.
Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá.
Àwa là ń gbé tò lárugẹ, jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ o.
Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá.
Àtúnjà fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa, fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá.
Ọmọ Oòduà ni wá o, tọkàntọkàn.
Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá.
Ikú tí ó ṣe bí lébi òsì, àdìmú bàbá iyọ̀.
Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá.
We bring you work closer to your doorstep.
Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá.
Afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ o tó ń kan gígo lára ni.
Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá.
Àpèrègèdè Olódùmarè ló fún wa ṣe.
Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá.
Gbogbo ayé ẹ gbọ́, àwa ní bàbá o.
Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá.
Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà yín wá o.
Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá.
Odùduwà la gbé dání, òtítọ́ la gbé dání.
Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá.
A kì í sọ̀dálẹ̀, a kì í sódìkẹta.
Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá.
A dúró tán, a tún pèrègèdè.
Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá.
closer to your doorstep. Koiki Media is around
To give us latest.
Is around
To give us latest.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó pójú gbogbo.
ladies and gentlemen,
Ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó pójú gbogbo.
Koiki Media is around.
To give us latest.
Koiki Media.
Koi.
Wow, Moki Bubua, a very good evening and welcome to the live transmission, the end of the month of September as we prepare for the new month in the next 24 hours, or probably less than that because it's just coming up to 7 p.m. local time. My name is OLAMILEKAN and this is Koiki Media Live. Moki Bubua, káàkiri ibi tí ẹ bá ti ń láǹfààní àti gbọ́ wa tí ẹ ti ń wò wá. Moki Omode, Moki Agbalagba. I welcome you into the platform and I say good evening and welcome once again as this is a very, very important night as it's going to be fundraising. It's going to be very interesting because it's not the first time that we've come out like this and it will not be the last time we will be coming out as well. We would like to first say good evening if you're new to the platform and if you're also one time a follower of the platform as well. I am Olayomi Koiki, known as Koiki Media. Let me first appreciate every single one of us that have been with us for the last 3 years. Let me also appreciate those that have been with us as in the last almost 10, 15, depending on what time you are able to know the brand. This is a brand and it is also known as a media outlet. And we would like to appreciate every single one of you that have been part of that outlet. Without you, there is no media outlet. So literally, the public, whether you are from Canada, whether you're a Canadian, whether you're an Australian, or probably whether you are from Nigeria or wherever you are, we are a media organization. And I would like to say thank you so much to every single one of you. But tonight is going to be different from what we normally do. We are so much pressed with time that we might have to have another part 2, which will then have more time because there is going to be an event at exactly 8 p.m. and I am expected to cover that event, which is something that I have to be on that platform, which is got to do with an event that is coming up from Inland Canada. We see how it goes. Moki gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé ẹ káalẹ́, ẹ káàbọ̀ káàkiri gbogbo ibi tí ẹ ti ń gbọ́ wa. I am not new to you. I'm sure many of you know me very well. Some of us might not know me because, we have 1 billion people that are on the social media. It's about 1 billion. That literally means that every single day, people will come across some of our pages and some might never come across it till the end of the world. But we pray and we hope that one day Many people would also reference to our own media outlet. Our media outlet, as many of you know, kò ń ṣàjòjì when it comes to media. But what makes it different is because of you, ẹ̀yin followers wa, ẹ̀yin listeners wa, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé. And if you want us to remain a media organization, we can compete with the BBC, we can compete with the Al Jazeera, we can compete with the Sky News, with the CNN, with the Fox, with the NBC, we can compete with the WION. We can also compete with First Advantage. Vantage is an Indian media outlet, very powerful. And if you go and look at some of these media outlets, you will also understand pé iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe ni pé they speak the narrative of where they want you to listen to or where they want to take you to. But what makes us different is because we have also used our platform as a platform that we can call an activist platform. What do I mean by that? We literally have a media organization that is challenging the status quo of what is known as Nigeria today. So that means that this platform, this media organization, Koiki Media, must be ready to make sure that they can compete with the TVC in Nigeria, with the Channels Television, with Arise, and with so many other, including NTA, so that we can be able to tell Nigerians, about 200 million Nigerians, mostly 60% of them are youth, why we are different from what is being said in Nigeria. Not that everything tí wọ́n sọ ní Nigeria ló wrong or ló right, but where we stand as a media outlet is different from where Channels Television stand. It is completely different from where Arise Television stand, and it is also different from where the TVC and also all the mainstream and also the online and likewise the newspapers. So Eric, it is a big task when we talk about media. When we talk about a media that wants to push a narrative and push a message, it is so important that that media is also capable, strong, to make sure that Toban saw along. We want to make sure that Eton Soyen is the same thing that we are saying. They are not going to say the same thing that we are saying, but we want to make sure that we challenge the status quo. First and foremost, many Nigerians, or probably many people, might not know that media operates with money. Without funding, there is no media. Whether it is an online, whether it is a print media, whether it is just as small as a media, as long as it is a media, it needs funding. So the question is, how do you get your funding? How do you make sure that your outlet that you call your own media organization continue to be funded to keep up with what is happening around the world and to keep up with managing that organization? There are different ways of funding media. We are not talking about just one media funding. There are so many different outlets. Many of you will have listened to a radio station at some point, and that means there's an advertisement running on that particular radio station. That means there's an agreement between the media organization and those that are bringing the advert, that we will give you 3 slots and we expect you pé tó bá di 3 times in a week or 3 times in a day, depending on the amount that they are paying, they must release the jingle of that particular advert. Let's talk about other ways of funding a media. If it's a media, you are likely also to be funded by your own government. I'll give you an example. When we look at Al Jazeera, many of us know Al Jazeera, but the question is, how many of you know how Al Jazeera is funded? How do you know how Al Jazeera that has different media position around the world? if there's a problem anywhere in Africa, Al Jazeera will automatically connect to their correspondent in any part of Africa, and they will beam up that news, and that news become that breaking news that most of you will see. The question is, how do Koiki Media challenge and work in a way that the same way Al Jazeera shall operate, we can operate that way? The question is about the funding, because Al Jazeera does not have one person operating for them in Libya without funding that person. That person must be funded to some extent to make sure that it can keep up with the work it's doing, and also corresponding back to Qatar, where Al Jazeera is based. But Al Jazeera itself is funded by one particular organization or a country. So, Tebangba Al Jazeera, it is funded by the Qatar government. And you can check that out yourself by going on the YouTube, and the YouTube will tell you that the Al Jazeera page is funded, not fully funded, but partly funded. The question is, how much is the Qatar government investing in Al Jazeera? Are we talking about $50 million? Are we talking about $1 billion? We don't know. But it keeps Al Jazeera operation going 7 days a week, regardless of whether you are awake or you are sleeping. The question then is, how do Koiki Media fund itself? Many of you are just listening to us. I'm sure you need to ask, báwo la ṣe ń fund the Koiki Media? Ọ̀nà wo là ń gbà fund it? Is it voluntary? Is it corporate? Do we have organization that say, Koiki, every month I'll give you a check of £5,000 so that you can continue to operate what you are doing? Number one, we don't have any back corporate organization that is funding it. Let me give you an example. Glo is one of the service provider for Nigerians. I'm talking about Glo, owned by Adenuga. The question is, why is it paying advert to CNN? Because it needs that advert to showcase that Glo is competing with MTN. It's using that same advert to tell everyone around the world that whenever you are in Nigeria, why not use Glo rather than using MTN or Airtel? That shows that Glo is funding part of CNN. When we now talk about Koiki Media, the question is, how do we get funded? Ta ló ń fund it? Ta ni ó wà ta ló ń back it? Many people might be suspicious, especially with the kind of nature of the job that we are doing, but nobody is suspicious of what CNN is saying and who is backing CNN, because when we talk about the problem that we are talking in Nigeria today, I don't think that CNN will go against the ethics of why they are being paid by Glo and then say something against Nigeria. I hope it's making sense now. So you can see why Glo is paying CNN, but CNN is never going to tell you that there's a problem in Nigeria and that problem might have to be the dissolution of Nigeria. I hope everybody's hearing me clearly. It's still about the funding, the support. I know there's a bit of glitch in between the broadcast. I can feel it here myself. And I know why. I think the TikTok is taking too much. It's consuming a lot. Maybe we might have to take down the TikTok, and I will advise you all to join our other platform. TikTok. I have to pull it down because it's a weekend. The whole environment is busy. And this is why we say, if we have more money, I will increase the kind of internet services that we are using. But for now, we can only use the one that we have. So those are on TikTok. I will have to pull it down. We might join you later, but for now, we'll have to bring it down. Thank you so much. So let's focus and see, because I know that the TikTok consumes a lot of data, and hopefully it will stabilize a little bit, and then we can continue with the conversation. So tonight, it's all about the fundraising. It's not going to be a one-off. I don't know. We might decide between me and the, my back team, and we say maybe in another 3 months we come out again and say, hey, need assistance. So the question is, how do you want to help us tonight? First and foremost, we have been telling you that the only way that we've been funded is by the public. The question is, can the public fund a media? Ǹjẹ́ ó lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ kí public fund the media? The question again is, it is. It is ethical. Kí ni mo mean by that? We can come out as a media organization that is fully registered. I'm not talking about any other platform that I cannot speak for. But as long as you are fully registered and you are calling yourself a media organization, you can come out at any time continuously and ask for support from the public. We are not the only one asking for this kind of support. There are so many other organizations that are doing the same thing. You can check it out from the Guardian newspaper online. And the Guardian says, and I quote, donate. You can make a one-off recurring financial donation. Or let me put it this way. Let's try and bring that to the screen so that Interative software. So I'm addressing for details how you're going to support us. We need at least as many of. We plan to raise 1 million. Somebody say, why 1 million? Why not 10 million? Your brand is bigger than 1 million. You can raise 10 million if we have the total numbers of people, whether you are one of those that agree with me, with my platform or not. But for anybody that watched my video, can you pay 1,000 naira into our account, either through the dollar or through the pounds or through the naira? If we have about 1,000 naira from, let's go with the YouTube page alone, we have about 42,000 followers. If you're able to give us 1,000 naira, that is going to bring a lot of money, and that means that we will scale up within 3 months. You will see more of different things that we are working with initially. We are not moving away from what we are doing. We just want to scale up our platform to make sure that, you know, whatever things that has to do with self-determination, whether it is happening anywhere in Nigeria, whether it is after Nigeria, anywhere, we can do a lot of work around the work that we have been doing already. So the question is, can we get 42,000 people and give us 1,000 naira? That is the start. So when I said 1 million over the week, somebody came back and say, I don't think your brand should be talking about 1 million when you are competing with other platforms. We will add another 000 digit to it. So that means that we are raising 10 million. 10 million naira is what the platform is going to raise. We will start today and we will continue to monitor and see how far it goes. We might come back and say, okay, it seems that we reached our target. If we don't reach that target for whatever reason, we will close it and we will come back probably in another 2 months or 3 months. But for now, the target is a 10 million naira to be raised for Koiki Media organization. Once again, I say good evening and welcome to the live transmission. Today is the 30th of September 2023. Before we go further, tomorrow, God willing, Lagbara Eledumare, our special broadcast will be from the Nigerian High Commission at 12 noon. If you're in London on holiday or you are living in UK, I'm sure many of you have seen the message in the last few hours. We have pushed the message out, but I am now officially announcing it that the Koiki Media special broadcast. We did one at the number 10 Downing Street a week ago, if I'm right. So this time around, we will be doing a special one to continue our campaign for the right to self-determination. So gbogbo ẹni tó bá wà ní gbogbo àgbègbè United Kingdom ní London, tẹ́ bá láǹfààní àti darapọ̀ mọ́ mi lọ́la ní aago 12 ìyẹn lọ́sàn-án la. It will just be a 3 hours program. Tá máa ń ṣe náà ni. You will be there while I'll be doing my presentation. We should come with our outfit, the Yoruba Nation outfit, if you have it. If you also have the flags, I'll be coming with some of the flags that we have, that we produce. So, ẹni tó bá ní flag, you can be able to purchase one at the venue. I'm going to come with a stick. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti ra flag tí ẹ ti gba igi yín because we couldn't post it because of the postal services in UK. You might also pick up your stick. So tẹ́ bá mú flag yín wá, a fún yín ní I'm going to bring my picture, my video in now. Yeah. So we will give you the the waving stick. So we will be there for 3 hours. We will make our say. I will do the presentation, and then we will probably interact, and then everybody will disperse. So that should be 3 hours window. And Tobambo, I'm sure many of you know the Nigerian High Commission very well. It is very close to Trafalgar Square. There are 2 train stations that is very close there. There's Embankment, and there's also the Charing Cross. If you're coming from the Embankment, you come out, you turn it right, you will see the High Commission not too far from Embankment. If you're coming from Charing Cross, you come out of the Charing Cross station, you walk a little bit like a bend road. It is called the 9 Northumberland Avenue. I will be there at least, God's willing, an hour before the program will start. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wà láǹfààní àti wà ní London, ẹ má worry. That is the reason why you have Koiki Media. That is part of why we say we need that media to continue to showcase what is happening at any point of time. The live transmission will start at least 12 o'clock or just a few minutes before that. We will make sure that we are streaming on all the platforms that we normally stream on, and we will try to make sure that you are not left behind. So let's come back to the conversation that we are in tonight. I know some of you, Mutiri, the donation that is coming in, we will continue to tally it. Like I said, we might have to come out again if there is a break in transmission at this particular event. It is going to be an all day. It might be tomorrow. So it doesn't matter. You can do it tomorrow. You can do it at any time. But the question is, how do you fund the media outlet? Let's look at what the newspaper here in UK called The Guardian. The Guardian is one of the biggest, if not one out of the first 3-4 newspaper in the United Kingdom. And as you can see there, this is what it says. Support us. Help us to continue our work. Ways to support. There are a lot of ways to support our work and help us promote global press freedom and access to journalism. Donate. You can make a one-off or recurring financial donation to support the Guardian Foundation. Every pound makes a difference. Your donation could help us further children's news and media literacy. If Koiki Media have so much money, we would transform and do more things relating to the work that we are doing on the self-determination. Some of those work, we might not have to announce it now, but when we have the kind of support that we need, we might also expand and do a little bit more to support the work of the movement. So, but for now, we are talking about supporting the brand so that the brand can have longer stay to compete with as many other media around the world to make the work of what we are doing a continuity. So every pound makes a difference. Your donation could help us further children news, make media literacy, empower underrepresented. I love that word. Empower underrepresented and aspiring journalists and improve the media landscape in UK and abroad. Please note, this donation to the Guardian Foundation by the Charity Aid Foundation platform will be eligible for gift aid to UK taxes. It is not a contribution towards funding Guardian independent journalism, which you can do by the Guardian. So this is just for the foundation, but they also have what they call the Guardian as well. Let's go back and go to the Guardian. So when we go to the Guardian newspaper in UK, again, it tells you that why not support the organization? And you can tell that the reason why they need our support so that they can continue. So let's look at it. So, Tabawo wájú wa nísìn, it says there, you can pay £10 monthly, or you can pay as small as £3, £5, £7. A regular supporter newsletter, get exclusive insight from our newsroom, uninterrupted reading, full access to our news hub, advert-free reading. The reason why many of you have been enjoying Koiki Media láti oṣù márùn lórí YouTube is because the donation or the monetization on the YouTube was removed after Lai Mohammed reported my page to the YouTube to take down 2 of my videos. So we got penalized for that and the monetization was removed. So gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa ń wo fídíò mi, ẹ rí pé you will not come across any advert. I'm sure most of you like that because èmi náà ti bá ń wo YouTube lọ tó bá débi ká kọ lọ sórí advert ni, you have to skip it. But you cannot have to, ní láti skip platform tiwa mọ́ anymore because you are watching a free platform without an advert. So in the message of the Guardian, you can pay the £95 per year. You can pay £70. Many of you, we are so grateful because keep going. You have been consistent in whatever you are doing to make sure that every month your donation comes to us. We are very grateful. We are happy that we have people like you that says, regardless, even with all the allegation to destroy the media platform, I'm talking about the brand, Koiki Media. What they wanted to do was destroy the brand, label it as different allegation, and then but even with all that, do you know that our brand remain one of the top notch when it comes to the news, when it comes to reportage, when it comes to everything you can think of? They could not bring it down. They tried. Koda, even spiritually, the brand was attacked. I'm sure many of you know what I'm talking about. But the consistent, the backup team, we must continue to post the account details and pin it down, especially across all the platforms. We will make sure that it's scrolling behind as well. Bear with us because Monlo, the back channel. So what I'm going to do, it's going to be scrolling right there. So you can see it consistently there. It is coming up to 7:30. We call it 1921. So you can donate as small as 1,000 naira from 40,000 people. It will go a long way, and you'll be amazed that you will see as much of so much transformation. But if 40,000 people just watch it, they don't like it, they don't share it, they are not even donating. The question is, what do you want the media platform to do in terms of revenue? Níbo lẹ ti fẹ́ kí n rí revenue láti máa fi run operation platform yìí? Because if everybody that have been donating in their little ways, and I'm not talking about little ways, I'm talking about consistent. We have people that have been giving us, as little as £1 in the last 3 years. We had a change of the bank details, so that also had a problem. So we went to Bani, our old bank details. We will advise you that please do not. Anyway, if you send money there, it will bounce back and your money will be returned to you. I remember that we did request people to give us £1. I think about 2 or 3 years ago when the movement started. If not 3 people, they never stopped that £1 until the Barclays Bank account is no longer in operation. So tonight, again, we are saying, we are asking, we are pleading that to keep the platform going, we want you to support the media organization. This media is not just any media that you are looking up to. This is a registered organization that also pay tax. I have an accountant. That means I have to also make sure that my account record is done yearly and presented to the British government. So again, this is not a Sherlock media organization, and that is why it has ethics. Whatever we have been saying, it has not gone past the ethics of the media. And if anybody thinks that whatever we have said is not meant to be said, you have the right to report the media page to the UK authority, and they'll write me and they'll tell me the reason why we have said certain things on our media organization. You can also report us to myself by sending me an email at info@koikimedia.com. This is our official website known as www.koikimedia.com. I'll repeat that again. www.koikimedia.com. So this media organization was operated before the movement. We were running a different platform from what we were doing and where we were making the source of our income. But even after the event of what we called the Yoruba Nation started, many people more EBT platform. We have an organization that we registered before this one, which was an Imperial Computer General Store. That is no longer in operation because I changed the nature of what I am doing as a professional person. So I was an IT engineer, installation and software. That is what I was apparently doing. I still do that, but not in the large scale. So we registered that. Then when I thought, okay, this is my nature, this is my calling. I knew that because I did at least 2 years, foundation at the London Metropolitan University in London when it comes to the media that I'm doing. So I knew straight away about 10 years ago that I wanted to go into media. So I switched. While I'm still one of the international correspondents for Star Radio UK, I have been with the Star Radio UK almost 6 years now as one of their international media that report not just on Nigeria, but also we have been to Nigeria to cover the election in 2019, which I was in Nigeria, and I also paid for that myself. So, Koiki support. Even if it's the smallest, it's going to go a long way. If we have 1,000 naira from 40,000 people, that means that at least we can stay afloat for the next 1 year. The year is already running down, and if we look at it, that means that as much as whatever we are doing hasn't completed, we haven't finished the job. And the last thing you will want is that a media that is the spoke part of the, I am not the only media, but as one of the media to work towards the self-determination, the last thing you want is that the media has a kind of a break of transmission. And what do I mean by that? Entoba was smart recently. That is if people are following this platform. Normally we should have attended the Olojo Festival. I couldn't send my team down there because we don't have the cost to cover it. Gbogbo event on ní Nigeria tan lọ is because you are the one supporting the platform. We are able to send people there. But because the funding is no longer there to support the media organization, that literally means that we have to cut and decide which one is the priority. Èwo ni priority? Ṣé ká lọ cover Tani Olohun? Ẹ̀mẹ́rin ni ọmọ mi ti lọ sí Ìlọrin. Not because of the risk alone, but it also has to be funded. So, ṣé ti Tani Olohun ní priority to get the coverage? I'm sure you saw the coverage. During the Mohbad, we were able to do the coverage across at least the 3 states, if not the 4 states. We covered Akure, we covered Ekiti, we covered Lagos State, and we covered Ibadan. So the question is, if you want the platform to be strong, kó ní strong base, kó lè improve services, kó lè ní a bit of upgrade, then you would also have to support it so that we can push it further. When you go on our page, in the last almost 3 months now, the team have been working back to back when it comes to our blogs, the news reportage. Every day, àfẹni tí kò bá fẹ́ follow in tan sọ, you will notice that my blog, these are the last couple of news that have come through. Let me tell you how many that have been written today. Tabanika lọ wo gbogbo news tí a ti report lẹ́nu. So as we are live, we are also writing articles every day. One of the articles we wrote today, the headline says, "One chance victim dies in Abuja. Biafra again as the Southeast leader calls. 14 people rescued as a bus burst in flames. Doctors and the health workers to join the NLC strike. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. That is about 4 articles. Again, gunmen kidnapped 25 people near somewhere in Ondo State. Odimefa, Odiman rather. Again, there's another one. Church. Okay, that was yesterday. So Leni Nikan, we have been able to write 5 articles. Each of these articles are very, very important. Whether it is got to do with Yoruba nation or not, it is telling the world that the country it has a lot of problems. One of the problems, let's talk about this briefly. Arábìnrin wọ́n ní àwọn one chance boss lówó kí ló dé ṣẹlẹ̀ ó wọnú boss yẹn wọ́n gbowó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ wọ́n tún wá tì síta wọ́n gbé lọ sí hospital wọ́n rejected. Why are we asking for Yoruba nation? It's because of some of these problems. This will never happen in UK. A one chance victim died in Abuja hospital, allegedly rejected her. That means that if we are not writing this, Tibako and Yoruba nation, live show. I also must have something that any tó gbọ́ Yoruba a lè follow platform wa láti mọ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nigeria. And these are the details of the account details of Losco and Loriba, and we expect as many of us to chip in. Like I said, even if it's the smallest, it will go a long way. Every little helps, they say. So these, and again, is so many other things that we talked about. Now let's come out of that and let's come back. Let's go back here one more step. Now, let's read what the University of Oxford and the Reuters Institute, when you hear the Reuters, is one of the news agency that also gives news around the world. They are called the Reuters. So we also follow them because they have a bigger platform than our own. Why? Because they are well funded. So when you go to the Reuters, only world news, business news, market, sustainability, blah, 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 blah. But the question is, ta ló ń fund wọn? Báwo ló ṣe ń rí owó tó fi ń fund ẹ̀? Àwọn wo ló ń fún wọn ní owó? How does Reuters makes their money? Let's ask. How does Reuters make money? Báwo ló ṣe make owó? Beyond this, we receive support. Let's expand this a little bit. Wọ́n ní beyond this, we receive support from a wide range of other funders, including academic funding bodies, foundations, non-profit, and industry partners. Tebagbo industry partners, that means these industries are paying this organization called Reuters to make sure that they are there. And maybe there will be bias, I wouldn't know. Maybe there will be straightforward, I don't know. But I'm sure everyone knows that if you are being funded, depending on who is funding you, you can move the narrative. So this is why we are saying tonight that it is not about watching Koiki Media. It is about how do you want the platform to remain strong and compete so that especially the work of what we are doing can be showcased properly around the world. So when we go back again, they also say that and earn income from leadership development programs and other activities. So when we open this is again Reuters Foundation. Our funders enable us to fulfill our mission. Just as Bashin Sapa Inokwe, we want you to support us so that we can fulfill the mission of Koiki Media brand. And like I said, we are so grateful for many of you that whether you are not going to allow us to mention your names, but you are being consistent even after all the attack on my platform. The attack went on and on and on, but because we refused to bow into those allegations and different attacks, that means that Koiki Media was able to survive a lot of this attack. And also with so many of you that are also praying for us, behind the scene. But tonight, we want you to dip your hands into your pocket and support this platform so that this platform will grow. This platform can also extend and to see if it is possible, maybe we can add 10 more people that can also be our correspondent Not literally only in Nigeria, but across the world. We can have people that are not even doing anything around different part of the world. I know where some people are, and they're not doing much. And we can engage them. They can be self-employed, and they can be part-time, and they can even just be working as a freelance for us, and we will pay them for whatever they do for us. Whether they are writing an article for me, whether they are translating things from English to Yoruba. We are not writing a lot of our articles in Yoruba. I spoke about it. One of our mothers got in touch, but if we do not have the funding to support them, there's no point, moving further to that. By now, ó yẹ ká máa kọ as many of the articles ní Yoruba, especially tó bá relate mọ́ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà tó dáa. Because gbogbo kìíní ó máa ní iṣẹ́ tó máa ṣe lọ́jọ́ iwájú. So lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, we are grateful. We are happy that we have, a global village called the social media today that can say, yes, we will rather support you because for the fact that you have been consistent, for the fact that you have remained loyal to the movement, for the fact that you have not looked back, because many people would pray that somebody like this brand will stop talking. And that is never going to happen, regardless of whether anything happen, but we still say we need you to support the platform as much as possible. So don't say, èmi ò mà ní kankan tí mo fẹ́ fi support. Well, even if you don't have it, just do whatever you can to pray for this platform so that it can survive. This platform has been thrown into all kind of mud. We've gone through a lot of turbulence, but we've been able to hold it very well. Most of you, like I said, I don't have any intention to write any book today because it is not yet time. But my memoir is being documented on a daily basis. In the future, you will read and you will understand what this platform have gone through. You would get those messages later on in a proper book. But for now, we are not releasing any book. I don't have any plan to release any book in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years. The focus as our leader, under the leadership of Professor Banja Fitoye, says that we are in this struggle to win, and you need the Koiki Media to be there to make sure that they're winning. Because ẹni tó bá gbà fẹ́ ló win. Many people do not want us to win, and they will put out narrative. And tó bá gbé narrative jáde, I will be there to challenge that narrative. I am not talking about the layman out there. I am talking about even Al Jazeera, even CNN, even BBC. And many of you might not know, BBC, let me first deal with this from the routers. Let's go back to what it says. Our funders enable us to fulfill our mission of exploring the future of journalism worldwide through debate, engagement, and research. Our core funding comes from Thompson. Well, I don't know who the Thompsons are, but if you click on that, I'm sure Thompson Foundation or Thompson Router Foundation. So what they've done is they have a foundation. Maybe we might look into that in the near future. I don't know. There's no plan for that yet. But anyway, what the routers have done is they have a foundation, and that foundation brings money in for them that helps them to fund their platform. So later on, we might think of having our own foundation. And that foundation will be able to, because there are some people that are ready to support you with large amount of money, but they're also going to have a tax break in their country. So what they make sure pé tí bá fún ẹ ní £5,000, Mr. Koiki, mo fẹ́ sọ fún government ní America. And if there's any way that you want us to, because this is an organization that is registered. So if you are going to give us a large sum of money and you want to, get it as a gift, let me know. There's always a way that can be channeled so that you are not just donating money. You want to also tell your government, I don't know about Nigeria, but I'm talking about the diaspora now. So if you're giving me $1,000 and you want to file that as your tax, if there's a thing that you need from me, whether it's going to be through a gift, but that is the reason why we might have to look up to maybe a foundation later on. We don't know yet. Because if we have a foundation that is charity, then you are paying a charity organization. You can have that as a tax break for those of you in America or any other part of the globe. But let's go back again to see how routers is making that money. So, I mean, not routers now, generally. According to Router Institute and the University of Oxford, this is what they are saying. Donations and crowdfunding an emerging opportunity. Kò sí opportunity by tẹ́lẹ̀, but because of the social media, I don't have to go and connect with NTA into bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. Yes, you might be looking at it from the Facebook perspective, you might be looking at it from the YouTube perspective, but I can tell you that we have a good track record when it comes to the Koiki Media platform. It is a strong base, and this platform is so strong that you might not understand the amount of work that we are doing. So let me give you, and if you look at that, you can see that it says there that you are not eligible for monetization. I'm sure everybody can see that. This is the YouTube channel. We are not eligible since April. That monetization has been removed. So the question is, even the little that was coming from this platform, pẹ̀lú small donation time tí ó wà consistent, àwọn kan wà consistent, àwọn kan once in a while, àwọn kan one off. So all this is what is helping us to grow as a platform. But if the YouTube that is part of the block that we are receiving the funding from has removed the monetization, do I then run away from the social media as a media organization? I am not a social media organization, but the social media is what we are using to transmit our message. So let's go back to the analytics of what we have been doing on Koiki Media. So in the last 28 days alone, my channel has been viewed by 150,000 people. Can I get 1,000 naira from that 150,000 people? The question is, if they are really honest, yes, because kí ló mú 150,000 people wá sórí channel mi? If there's nothing there, as at the new subscriber ní month tí ó ṣe ń calculate lọ, we already have 244 new people. So many people are looking for me, but I must be able to showcase that we must continue to let them see us. We must be visible. That is why every day, every blessed day, kò síjọ́ kan tí ẹ ní rí Koiki Media níta. Whether I am live or not, let me increase the front. This is what makes me different from the others. As you can see there, ní 28 days tó kọjá lọ yìí nínú oṣù yìí lásán, 150,466 people ti wá sórí page wa láti wá wo nǹkan tí mò ń ṣe. And the question is, what are they looking for? We have 41,917 people that have subscribed. Can we get from this 41,000, can we get 20,000 of you? At any point about the video, you must help us to submit yourself to us by giving us something to keep this platform going. Anybody tó bá rí fídíò tá à ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá bá pàdé oṣù mẹ́fà ni, oṣù mẹ́ta ni, ọdún kan ni, you are also expected to support the channel. Wọ́n ní your channel usually get 261,000 to 522,000 views in 28 days. That means we lost 100,000 viewers. Could it be for one reason or the other? Yes. There are so many reasons for that. But the question is, we are still at least only 100,000. What you don't want is, you do not want this channel to drop by another 50,000. Rather than pé kó drop, we must increase the pressure. We must continue the push. Because what YouTube is telling me with this graph is that, Mr. Koiki, kí lẹ̀ ń ṣe tó wrong? Kí lẹ̀ ní láti ṣe láti improve channel yín? What are you doing? This is part of what you take to àwọn tó máa market ẹ̀, tó máa fún wa sọ pé okay, mo máa ṣe advert lórí platform ẹ̀ because worry traffic níbẹ̀. But if we are losing 100,000, we do not want that to drop, so we must keep the pace. And that is why tonight is all about the funding of the channel. So when we look at the audience, Who are the audience? A fẹ́ target more people, especially the youth tó wà ní diaspora. The youth in diaspora must come on board to know what we are talking about. But they have their own kind of content. Okay? Wọ́n lè má like ìkànnì content tá à ń ṣe. So we must prepare another content for them. That is why BBC have different programs. Tẹ́ bá lọ wo BBC programs, they have different kind of programs no run. Àwọn náà lọ ń ṣe football, àwọn náà lọ ń ṣe ẹlòmíì tí ń wo EastEnders nílùú yìí lágbà tèmi ti dé lóyún ní 25 years lọ ti ń ṣe EastEnders. Well, they stop. So when you look at the BBC today, this is what BBC is operating. Let me give you some of what they do. They have the BBC One, they have the BBC Two, they have BBC Three, BBC Four, they have CBC, CBBC, they have CBs, they have BBC News, they have BBC Parliament, they have BBC Alba, they have S4C, they have BBC Hindu, they have BBC Marital TV, they have BBC Scotland, but they don't have BBC Yoruba. The only BBC Yoruba they have is the basic one in Nigeria that is not talking about what we are doing. That means that there's a gap for me to contest and work to make sure that èyí BBC òfin lè sọ̀rọ̀ wa níbí báyìí, I can then bring in more people that are going to be paid fully, full time. Tó yẹ pé a máa sọṣẹ́ tó máa ṣe fún wọn ní àwa là ń sanwó fún wọn. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń bá BBC ṣiṣẹ́ nísìn, èyí tí BBC bá ní kó ṣe ló máa ṣe. Then look at all the radio stations, Tony. They have the local radio called the BBC Berkshire. They have the Radio Bristol. They have the Radio Cambridgeshire. They have the Radio Cornwall. They have CWR. They have the Radio Cumbria. They have the Radio Derby. They have Radio Devon. They have Essex. They have Radio Gloucester. They have. This is why their narrative will not go with you, because in ton sonibe kò ní báyé mo fún kọta wà fẹ́. So mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wọlé lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan. So your support to keep the media going is the public, because we do not want a politician to say ẹ lọ fún Koiki ní $1 million kó lè shut up, kó lè stop n tó ń ṣe. That is no longer the kind of what we want. We will continue to come out and ask for those donations. Whether we come out again in 2 months, it does not matter, because gbogbo àwọn tẹ́ ń rí what keeps them going. BBC TV license. Let me look at TV license. The TV license in UK is paid by every goddamn person. You must pay for it. Àfáwọn tó bá ti dé pension age. Èló ni owó náà? Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wò. So this is what keeps BBC going. Let's first look at the fee. Ẹ jẹ́ ká padà ká lọ wò fee. Let me just type in the fee. Once again, we appreciate those of you cost. So this is what it costs me every month. Whether mo wo BBC àbí mo wo BBC, every single month I am paying £159 for a standard color TV. If you have a black and white, it costs you £53. And multiply it, let's see, about 30 million people tó wà ní UK. Well, it's even more than that. The UK population is about 67 million. Now, ká tẹ̀ sọ pé nínú 67 yẹn, gbogbo àwọn tó san TV license, ká tẹ̀ sọ pé they are about 10 million, ká tẹ̀ sọ pé 70 million. That means pé 50 million, and multiply 50 million by £159. That is why BBC have the money to do all this that they are doing. Lóòótọ́, when we have a country of our own, we expect the Yoruba government to work very quickly. Ká máa ní ẹ̀ka rédíò wa káàkiri ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. We must do that. But for me to continue the good work that we are doing, for the progressive of what we are doing, for the movement, for the brand, we expect many of you to support the channel. Let's go back again and look at my channel analytics. This is what gives me, an edge when it comes to the media. We can do more, just like BBC is doing, because tó bá yẹ pé BBC ń ṣe wọ́n lọ cover Glastonbury Festival. Tèmi náà bá mọ̀ pé ibẹ̀ ni màá ti mú àwọn tí wọ́n máa gbọ́rọ̀ Yoruba Nation, for example. I will go there and I will also bring that board to you. Because we are a media organization already, that means pé I can apply for any media accreditation to anywhere around the world. kò sí ẹni gov àfi the list ni pé wọ́n lè dáhùn fún wa because wọ́n ò rí nǹkan tá à ń ṣe dáadáa and one of the things tó máa ń fẹ́ wò ni pé what is your media doing when it comes to the news outlet around the world? So when we come to my channel, where is my, yeah. So when you come back out here, the reason why we must continue to write article, òun ni pé àwọn organisation kan wà níta ẹ̀yin ò wà wí ẹ̀. Tí bá sọ fún wa pé mo need the media accreditation, wá lọ wo page mi, wá lọ sórí website mi. Tó bá dórí website, wá rí pé okay, apart from nǹkan tó náà ń ṣe, ó ń sọ news tó relate mọ́ international news. And if we are not doing that, it is not helping the brand. So again, when you look at the population of UK, about 50 million people must pay every month £159. That was until about the day age bracket to come. So how do you support us tonight? The whole support is also voluntary. We must clarify that. You don't have to. If you do, it's a bonus for the platform. If you do not do it because you don't have it, no problem. But let me remind you that donate to good journalism. Many independent media depend on you like our own. Trust has never mattered more. Thanks to your support, we continue to provide accurate, independent news and calm explanation. I know sometimes I might not be calm, but I'm sure many of you have done so much presentation that are very calm. So depending on the day of the week or the day of the conversation. So Tebani, our calm to, well, you might want to send me an email and also give us some suggestion. Mr. Koiki, we want you to look into this. We want you to touch on this. But like I said, I don't think I should be the only one coming out. Láti wá máa sọ̀rọ̀ ní gbogbo ìgbà. We want to also make sure that my other team can come out. But coming out, especially knowing the fact that location táwọn wà, you know, apart from the fact that the logistics to make sure that they can be on air, so that rather than pé olùgbà tí Koiki bá jáde, I can have my team coming out. You know, we had all that ready before, but like I said, we can do more. So if you're supporting us, remember that it is a voluntary donation. Let's always clarify that. No matter how uncertain the future feels, you can rely on us. Quality journalism can help us all make a critical decisions about our lives, health and security based on fact. Fact la fi ń sọ̀rọ̀. We are not talking with fiction. Trusted news important to us, and so is your support to Koiki Media. So like I said, tonight, let's see, we've got about only 18,000 naira has come into the UK, the First Bank account. I'm sure we can do more than that. So let me appreciate those of you that have sent that. Somebody sent a 5,000 naira. I'm sure you don't want me to mention your name. We appreciate you. There was another 12,400 naira. So far, only 2 individuals have sent money through the Naira account. Let's see if we have any update from our UK bank account, and that way we can start working around and say, okay, if we are, thank you so much. One of our brother here is on the line with us, sent us £25. So that is the only funding that have come through so far. Let's look at the PayPal and see if anything have come through on the PayPal this evening. So far, so good. Nothing has come through the PayPal. So, Eric Bay, it is still a very, very low donation. But we believe and we trust our followers that you will do what is needed to keep this platform to stay strong and to continue to compete with other mainstream media. So once again, if you want to know where to support, the First Bank details is 309-680-8848. 309-680-8848. First Bank Olayomi Olakunle Koiki. If you're sending it to the PayPal, it is musakalam1@yahoo.com. Sometimes it might come up with a reseller. It is still the same name. Do not use the Cash App because for whatever reason, that system is not working, coming down to UK on our platform. So I'm not too sure why. So we only have 4 different ways to donate, which is the PayPal, the First Bank, and the UK business account, and likewise the Coffee bot, which you can use as well. So let's go back quickly and read more about donations, crowdfunding, and the emerging opportunity. While some countries see significant progress in persuading consumers to pay for digital subscription, this is proving more challenging for less wealthy countries, for poorer groups, for particular types of content that are democratically important or less commercially valued. In these cases, donations could be emerging as one of the ways of maintaining existing legacy news organization and funding new enterprise. Again, if you want the platform to remain Koiki Media, continue to come out, talk to us about what we are doing, then we'll also expect you to donate, very, very massively towards the channel, so that this channel will be able to stay afloat. Once again, this is not a blogging channel. This is a media organization, and that media organization has whatever it takes to speak to any countries around the world when it comes to donation and support. And I'm sure many of you do not want a situation where we are in crisis. Crisis, and that's where you want to donate. We want that donation to continue to flow in so that you can keep that organization going through. News organizations like The Guardian are building their future businesses on the back of donation-based membership. While our country pages are full of examples of new crowdfunded startup, our Kinshasa startup, this organization has been operating for more than 10 years. So the only difference is that it needs to continue to remain floating as much as possible. In this chapter, we look at the extent and limit of this approach across countries and explore the reasons why more people are donating to news with a focus on the US, Spain, and the UK. Overall, we find that the percentage of people donating to news organization is just as 1%. Even tonight, in as much as the program is still very young, like I said, we might have a transmission break, we might come back again. You will realize that if the amount of people that follow us and the request that we are asking tonight, definitely we should have received more. But I'm sure many of you will watch this program and you will definitely dip your hand in the pocket to support it. Once again, as we about to end the first part of the program, I'll be coming out again later where we're going to pick it up from there, and I'll be giving us updates on what we have reached so far in terms of the target. Like I said, the target was 1 million, but somebody said 1 million is too small. We should go for 10 million. But whatever it is, I will be giving us an update so far on how much the platform has made, whether we have reached the target or not. But so far, so good. It is still the beginning, and we expect many of you, to dip your hands and support, the platform as much as possible. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín gan fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti dúró tì wá in the last 3 years without moving back an inch. So Tabanika will briefly, because like I said, there's another program that I want to join for the presentation of that program at 8 o'clock, and as you can look at the time now, it's just coming up to 3 minutes to 8. Lola Lagbara Olorun, I'll be doing my special broadcast in front of the Nigerian High Commission. If you want to join me there, you are more than welcome. So when we come back later, I will be doing more of the fundraising, and when we come back then, we might turn things around in a way that maybe we start saying, Taloma challenge around. Taloma start with maybe £100, maybe 10,000, and we see how many people. We might start with small money, like 1,000. 1,000 naira. We need about 5,000 people, and then that will be when I come back. So prepare that 1,000 naira, which is about 5,000 people. So at least I'm sure we should have 5,000 people, to give us that kind of donation. And on that note, we'd like to say thank you so much. So far, so good as we start the first fundraising for Koiki Media tonight, being the 30th. When we come back for the part 2, it will be more of interesting donation. Thank you so much. My name is Koiki, and this is Koiki Media bringing the world closer to your doorstep. So we'll be coming back, like I said, later on tonight for the rest of the fundraising. But for now, let us say Anirijubelo so that we can join the program that is meant to come up within the next few minutes. Yoruba Nation definitely is the project of what we carry, and nothing is going to change that on this particular page. We will stick to it for as long as we have to. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Bye for now.